About. Let's talk about your future plans. The documentary is all about wildlife conservation. They had a conversation about the latest news. The book provides information about ancient civilizations. The article in the newspaper is about the economy. Above. The sun is shining brightly above the clouds. Hang the picture above the sofa for a better view. The temperature soared above 30 degrees Celsius. The plane flew high above the mountains. The banner was displayed above the entrance. Across. The bridge extends across the river, connecting two cities. She walked across the street to get to the park. The cat ran swiftly across the room. The athletes raced across the finish line. They traveled across Europe to explore different countries. Against. The car bumped against the wall. He leaned against the tree, catching his breath. The team competed against a formidable opponent. The decision goes against my principles. They stood united against injustice. Along. They strolled along the beach, collecting seashells. The river flows peacefully along the valley. The road runs along the coastline, offering scenic views. She placed the books along the bookshelf. The parade marched along the main street. Amid. The children played happily amid the laughter. The artist found inspiration amid nature's beauty. The party took place amid colorful decorations. The city comes alive amid the festivities. Amid the chaos, they remained calm. Among. He stood out among his classmates for his intelligence. The toy was hidden among the other toys in the box. The award-winning movie is among the best of the year. The secret was shared among close friends. The diamonds sparkled among the other gemstones. Around. The cat wrapped itself around my legs. The kids ran around the playground, full of energy. The path winds around the lake, offering beautiful views. The town has a fence around the perimeter. The news spread quickly around the neighborhood. As. She works as a doctor in a local hospital. The dress serves as a perfect outfit for the occasion. He was hired as the new manager. The actor was famous as the protagonist in the movie. As a student, he was always diligent in his studies. At. I'll meet you at the restaurant at 7 p.m. The cat sat at the window, watching the birds. The conference will be held at the convention center. They met at the park to play soccer. She works at the company headquarters. Before. Please finish your assignment before the deadline. The sun rises before dawn. The guests arrived at the party before the host. Let's have a quick meeting before lunch. He was promoted before his colleagues. Behind. The car stopped behind the red traffic light. The mystery was hidden behind the locked door. The cat hid behind the curtains. The achievement was the result of hard work behind the scenes. The runner finished behind the winner. Below. The temperature dropped below freezing point. The answer is written below the question. The submarine dove below the ocean's surface. The fish swam below the water's surface. The price is below our budget. Beneath. The treasure was buried beneath the old tree. The stars shone brightly beneath the night sky. The river flows beneath the ancient bridge. The truth lies beneath the surface. The box was hidden beneath a pile of books. Beside, he sat beside his best friend during the movie. The flowers bloomed beside the fountain. The cat sleeps beside its owner every night. She kept her phone beside her at all times. The new store is located beside the old bakery. Between. The meeting will take place between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. The book was hidden between two others on the shelf. The bridge spans between the two islands. The friends shared a secret between themselves. The negotiations occurred between the two countries. Beyond. The mountain range stretches beyond the horizon. Her dedication to her job goes beyond expectations. The story goes beyond just the main characters. The benefits of exercise go beyond physical health. The solution is beyond our current understanding. But he tried hard, but he couldn't solve the puzzle. The weather was cold but sunny. The book was thick but interesting. She studied diligently, but the test was challenging. They were tired but happy after the trip. Bye. The book was written by a famous author. He passed the exam by studying hard. The cake was made by her grandmother. The painting was created by a talented artist. The letter was signed by the sender. Down. The sun went down and the sky turned dark. The birds flew down from the tree. The ball rolled down the hill. He wrote the address down in his notebook. The elevator took us down to the lobby. During. She studied diligently during the exam week. The city comes alive during the festival. We chatted and laughed during the long car ride. The temperature dropped during the night. The meeting will be held during the afternoon. Except. Everyone attended the party except for John. The store is closed on Sundays, except for holidays. She liked all the flavors except for chocolate. The box contained all the items except for one. They invited everyone except for her. 4. He bought a gift for his mother's birthday. The concert tickets were sold out for the show. She prepared a delicious meal for her guests. The charity event raised funds for a good cause. The letter was addressed for the recipient. From. The train arrives from the station at 9 a.m. The book was borrowed from the library. The letter was sent from her hometown. He got a gift from his best friend. The hotel is just a few blocks away from the airport. In. They live in a cozy house in the countryside. She always carries a pen in her bag. The cake is in the oven, baking. The students are engaged in a group project in class. He works in a high-rise building in the city. Inside. The keys are inside the drawer. It's warm inside the house. The kids played inside the clubhouse. The museum has a fascinating exhibit inside. She waited inside the coffee shop. Into. He jumped into the pool to cool off. She turned the dough into a delicious pie. The caterpillar transformed into a beautiful butterfly. They converted the old barn into a guest house. He translated the poem into English. Like. She looks like her mother. The cake tasted like chocolate. He acted like a gentleman. They talked like old friends. The landscape looked like a painting. Near. The park is near my house. The restaurant is located near the beach. She sat near the window to enjoy the view. The school is near the city center. The store is near the bus stop. Of. The color of the sky is blue. The taste of the cake is sweet. He is a man of integrity. The smell of fresh flowers filled the room. The movie is a story of love and friendship. Off. Turn off the lights when you leave the room. The plane took off from the runway. The cat jumped off the table. The event was called off due to bad weather. He wiped the dust off the bookshelf. On. She placed the vase on the table. The movie will start on time. The train arrives on platform 3. He wore a hat on his head. The meeting will be held on Monday. Onto. She climbed onto the roof to fix the antenna. The cat jumped onto the bed. The spider crawled onto the ceiling. He spilled coffee onto his shirt. The children hopped onto the carousel. Out. She stepped out of the house into the sunlight. The cat ran out of the room. The wind blew out the candles. He called out for help. The dog barked out loudly. Outside. The kids played outside in the garden. She waited outside the building. The temperature was freezing outside. The dog stayed outside the house. He enjoyed the view from outside the window. Over. The plane flew over the mountains. She put a blanket over the sleeping child. The meeting is scheduled over lunchtime. The bridge arches over the river. The magician waved his wand over the hat. Past. They walked past the old castle. The train sped past the countryside. The time flew past quickly. The years have gone past in a blur. She ran past the finish line. Round. The earth revolves round the sun. The children sat round the campfire, telling stories. The road curves round the hill. The dancers twirled round the dance floor. The ribbon was tied round the gift. Since. He has been studying since morning. They have been friends since childhood. The museum has been closed since last week. She has been living here since 2010. The tradition has been passed down since generations. Through. The car drove through the tunnel. She read through the entire book in one sitting. The river flows through the valley. They persevered through difficult times. The needle passed through the fabric. Throughout. The flowers bloom throughout the spring season. The concert was a success throughout the tour. The speaker received applause throughout his speech. The scent of flowers spread throughout the room. The festival celebrated customs throughout the community. 2. She gave a gift to her sister on her birthday. The train travels from the city to the countryside. He passed the book to his friend after reading it. They expressed their gratitude to the volunteers. The letter was addressed to the CEO. Toward. The dog ran toward its owner with excitement. The project is progressing toward completion. They took steps toward achieving their goals. The company is working toward sustainability. The students are making progress toward success. Under. The cat hid under the bed during the storm. She found her lost ring under the couch. The book is under the pile of papers. The puppy crawled under the table to hide. They worked under the guidance of a mentor. Underneath. The treasure was hidden underneath the floorboards. She found her missing keys underneath the magazine. The cat made a cozy nest underneath the blankets. The insects thrive underneath the dense foliage. He discovered a secret compartment underneath the drawer. Until. The event will continue until late at night. The kids played games until the sun went down. She waited until her friends arrived. The project deadline has been extended until next week. The museum remains open until 6 p.m. Unto. He pledged loyalty unto the king. The gift was presented unto the bride and groom. The responsibility falls unto the manager. The land was given unto the villagers. The blessing was bestowed unto the faithful. Up. The sun is rising up in the sky. The cat climbed up the tree. He picked up the fallen leaves. The company is gearing up for the launch. The baby stood up for the first time. Upon. The rain poured down upon the earth. He placed the crown upon her head. The decision was based upon careful consideration. They built the house upon the hill. The success was bestowed upon the deserving candidate. With. She went to the park with her friends. The house is decorated with colorful lights. He wrote a letter with a blue pen. The chef prepared the dish with fresh ingredients. The baby played with a stuffed toy. Within. The answer lies within the textbook. The event will take place within the next 2 weeks. She found a solution within the problem itself. The shop is located within walking distance. The company will announce the results within a month. Without. She managed to complete the task without any help. The picture looks beautiful even without a frame. They lived without electricity for a week. He faced the challenge without fear. She handled the situation without any difficulty. Concerning. We need to have a discussion concerning the project. The letter contains important information concerning the event. The report presents data concerning market trends. The article discusses issues concerning climate change. He approached the teacher concerning his grades. Alongside. The new employee worked alongside his colleagues. The river flows alongside the picturesque landscape. The new model was introduced alongside the previous one. They worked alongside the volunteers to clean up the park. The exhibition featured contemporary art alongside traditional pieces. As of this moment, the project is still ongoing. As of tomorrow, the new policy will be implemented. The data shows the sales figures as of last month. As of the latest update, the event is postponed. He will be officially promoted as of next week. Because of. The event was cancelled because of the heavy rain. He missed the bus because of the traffic jam. They couldn't attend the party because of a prior commitment. The match was postponed because of a player's injury. The flight was delayed because of technical issues. Close to. The cafe is located close to the train station. They live close to the city center. The deadline is close to approaching. The shop is close to my house. They are close to achieving their goals. Due to. The match was cancelled due to bad weather. The delay was due to unforeseen circumstances. The event was postponed due to a scheduling conflict. She missed the party due to illness. The flight was delayed due to technical issues. Far from. The grocery store is far from our house. The hotel is located far from the city center. The results are far from satisfactory. He is far from being a skilled artist. The truth is far from what she claims. In addition to his job, he also volunteers at a charity. The package includes not only the product but also additional accessories. In addition to the cake, there will be ice cream for dessert. The book contains bonus chapters in addition to the main story. He excels in academics and sports in addition to being a talented musician. In case of. Carry an umbrella in case of rain. In case of emergencies, call 911. Keep extra batteries in your bag in case of a power outage. The team has a backup plan in case of any unexpected circumstances. Always have a first aid kit ready in case of accidents. In front of. The children played happily in front of the house. The monument stands tall in front of the park. She placed a vase of flowers in front of the window. The crowd gathered in front of the stage to watch the performance. They posed for a photograph in front of the landmark. In place of. She used brown sugar in place of white sugar for the recipe. The actor replaced the original cast member in place of illness. They chose a different venue in place of the original one. The director decided to use digital effects in place of practical ones. She stepped up to lead the team in place of the injured captain. In regard to. We need to discuss the matter in regard to the budget. The email contains important updates in regard to the project. He provided valuable advice in regard to career choices. The statement addressed concerns in regard to safety measures. They made changes in regard to customer feedback. In spite of the rain, they continued with the outdoor event. He managed to finish the race in spite of the injury. She remained positive in spite of the challenges. In spite of his fear of heights, he climbed the mountain. The team won the match in spite of tough competition. Instead of. She had tea instead of coffee for breakfast. He decided to walk instead of taking the bus. They chose to stay home instead of going out. Instead of the usual routine, they planned a surprise party. The group opted for outdoor activities instead of indoor games. Next to. The store is located next to the supermarket. He sat next to his sister during the concert. The new building will be constructed next to the park. The hotel room is next to the swimming pool. The bakery is next to the cafe. On account of. They canceled the event on account of the bad weather. He received praise on account of his hard work. They achieved success on account of their dedication. The project was delayed on account of technical issues. She was promoted on account of her excellent performance. Out of. The cat jumped out of the window. She picked the red crayon out of the box. They ran out of milk, so they went to buy more. The artist created a masterpiece out of ordinary materials. They were exhausted out of the long journey. Amongst. The old key was hidden amongst the clutter in the drawer. The bird's nest was nestled amongst the branches of the tree. He found his lost book amongst the pile of papers on the desk. The tiny island is situated amongst a vast ocean. The secret lies hidden amongst the pages of the ancient book. Athwart. The ship sailed athwart the rough waves of the open sea. He placed the ladder athwart the narrow gap between the two buildings. The rope stretched athwart the river, forming a bridge. The protesters stood athwart the road, blocking traffic. The arrow flew athwart the sky and hit the target. Betwixt. The old cottage is nestled betwixt two tall trees. The ancient stone lies betwixt the tall grass in the meadow. The secret passage is hidden betwixt the library shelves. He couldn't decide between betwixt the two options. The truth lies betwixt the lines of the mysterious letter. Circa. The building was constructed circa the 18th century. The manuscript dates back to circa 1500 AD. The estimated arrival time is circa 3 p.m. The artist's birth date is circa 1890. The event took place circa a decade ago. Ere. The stars appeared in the sky ere the sun set. He left the office ere the meeting started. The flowers will bloom ere the arrival of spring. She completed her assignment ere the deadline. The birds returned to their nests ere nightfall. Lest. Speak softly lest you wake the sleeping baby. He hid the gift lest she find it before her birthday. Double-check the calculations lest any errors go unnoticed. Wear a jacket lest you catch a cold in the chilly weather. She studied diligently lest she fail the important exam. Pre. The students were given a pre-test to assess their knowledge. The pre-approval process for the loan was smooth. The pre-opening event attracted a large audience. The pre-game warm-up is essential for athletes. The pre-conference meeting set the agenda for the event. As. She works as a teacher at a local school. The cat watched the bird as it flew past the window. He acted as the spokesperson for the group. As a musician, she excels in playing the piano. The flowers bloomed as the sun rose. Regards. With warm regards, she thanked them for the lovely gift. The matter was resolved with mutual regards for each other's opinions. The letter was signed with best regards. He sent his regards to the entire family. They greeted each other with warm regards. Midst. The children played happily in the midst of the park. The company is facing challenges in the midst of a restructuring process. The movie theater was crowded with people in the midst of the holiday season. The team showed great teamwork in the midst of a tough match. She found solace in the midst of nature during her camping trip. Sine. The equation was solved using sine and cosine functions. She measured the angle using a sine chart. The engineer used sine waves to test the functionality of the device. Sine the launch of the new product, sales have increased significantly. The sine of 30 degrees is 0.5. Inter. The two friends interacted with each other after a long time. The detective will enter the clues to solve the case. The intercollegiate competition brought together students from different universities. Enter the documents in the proper files for easy access. The company introduced an interdepartmental training program. Midst. The children played happily in the midst of the park. The company is facing challenges in the midst of a restructuring process. The movie theater was crowded with people in the midst of the holiday season. The team showed great teamwork in the midst of a tough match. She found solace in the midst of nature during her camping trip. Versus. The match will be Barcelona versus Real Madrid. The debate was about nature versus nurture. The court case was Johnson & Company versus Smith Ltd. The discussion revolved around democracy versus dictatorship. The tournament will feature India versus Australia in the final. Anent. She provided detailed information anent the upcoming event. The manager shared his thoughts anent the project's progress. The article discusses various aspects anent climate change. The meeting will focus on matters anent budget allocation. They had a lengthy discussion anent the new policy implementation. Poor. The cost per unit decreased after the price reduction. The parcel was shipped via airmail at a rate of $10 per kilogram. She earned $50 per hour for her freelance work. The product can be purchased for $20 per item. The hotel room rate is $150 per night. Concerning. We need to have a discussion concerning the project's progress. The email contains important updates concerning the event's schedule. He provided valuable advice concerning career choices. The statement addressed concerns concerning safety measures. They made changes concerning customer feedback. In spite of the heavy rain, they continued with the outdoor event. He succeeded in his exam in spite of his lack of preparation. In spite of her fear of heights, she climbed to the top of the mountain. They went on a picnic in spite of the weather forecast predicting rain. In spite of the challenges, the team managed to win the championship. Sans. He enjoyed his coffee sans sugar. She completed the project successfully sans any assistance. He arrived at the party sans his usual entourage. The cake was delicious even when prepared sans eggs. The old building had an elegant charm even sans modern amenities. Excluding. All members are welcome to join the meeting, excluding Mr. Smith. The package includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner, excluding beverages. The study focused on various age groups, excluding teenagers. The company offered discounts for all products, excluding electronics. The event was open to the public, excluding children under 12. Apart. They stood apart from the crowd to get a better view of the parade. The two friends lived thousands of miles apart. The siblings always stood together, no matter how far apart they were in age. The park was divided into two sections, set apart for different activities. She kept her personal and professional life apart to maintain balance. Vis-a-vis. The teacher discussed the students' progress vis-a-vis the school's curriculum. The two countries had a meeting to address their issues vis-a-vis trade. The report presented the company's financials vis-a-vis its competitors. The article analyzed the advantages and disadvantages of a decision vis-a-vis public opinion. The manager discussed the team's performance vis-a-vis the company's goals. Regarding. The letter contained important information regarding the upcoming event. They had a discussion regarding the new company policy. The meeting focused on matters regarding budget allocation. The report provided details regarding the project's progress. The email provided updates regarding the changes in schedule. Notwithstanding the difficulties, they managed to complete the project on time. She decided to attend the party notwithstanding her tiredness. The team's morale remained high, notwithstanding the recent defeat. He received the promotion, notwithstanding his lack of experience. They continued with the plan, notwithstanding the potential risks. Via. The package was sent via express mail and arrived the next day. He contacted the client via email to discuss the new proposal. The message was conveyed to all employees via the company's newsletter. They reached the destination via a scenic route. The news spread quickly via social media. Astride. The cowboy sat astride his horse, ready for the rodeo. The bridge was built astride the river, connecting two towns. The child stood astride the bike, eager to learn how to ride. The soldiers marched astride the border, guarding the nation. She balanced herself astride the fallen log. Atop. The castle was perched atop the hill, overlooking the valley. The flag fluttered proudly atop the tall pole. The book lay open atop the desk. The sculpture stood atop a marble pedestal in the museum. The newlyweds shared a romantic dance atop the moonlit terrace. Qua. The project was examined qua its impact on the environment. He was respected qua his expertise in the field of technology. The issue was debated qua its implications on society. The decision was made qua the company's long-term goals. He was praised qua his leadership skills. Apud. According to the ancient manuscript, the event took place apud the river. The painting was discovered in the library apud a collection of rare books. The treasure was buried apud a hidden cave. The historical artifact was found apud the ruins of an ancient temple. The valuable documents were stored apud a secure vault. Opposite. The park is situated opposite the school. They live in the house directly opposite ours. The two teams will compete against each other in the game tomorrow. He chose the seat opposite his friend at the restaurant. The opinions of the two individuals are often opposite to each other. Pro. She argued pro the new policy during the meeting. The lawyer presented evidence pro the defendant's innocence. The politician campaigned pro better healthcare for all citizens. He spoke pro the benefits of renewable energy sources. The article presented arguments pro and con the controversial issue. Withal, she was talented and hardworking, withal very humble. The hotel had excellent facilities and, withal, great customer service. He faced many challenges, but withal, he never gave up. The restaurant's ambience was cozy, withal, lively and vibrant. The team was skillful, and withal, they showed great sportsmanship. Post. The package was delivered post the expected delivery date. The conference was scheduled for the week post the holidays. She posted her pictures on social media to share her travel experiences. The mail was sent via post and reached the recipient the next day. The report was submitted post the deadline, but it was accepted. Whilst she prepared dinner whilst her husband watched TV. They enjoyed the beautiful sunset whilst sitting on the beach. Whilst it rained outside, they played board games indoors. He listened to music whilst working on his computer. The students chatted amongst themselves whilst waiting for the teacher.